Amables y gentiles televidentes, muy, pero muy buenas tardes, feliz fin de semana. Les saludamos de nuevo a través de 5.2 Somos el Valle, sus amigos de Pueblo Tires and Service. Habíamos prometido previamente que visitaríamos varios lugares que sirven a la comunidad. Y en esta ocasión nos encontramos transmitiendo precisamente desde una de las bases de la educación del futuro de los jóvenes, de nuestros hijos aquí en el Valle del Río Grande. Estamos en una más de las ramas de South Texas College, precisamente aquí por la calle Surcase. Pero pues tengo aquí también conmigo a mis compañeros, aquí a mi izquierda a mi compañero Mike Gamboa, uno de los grandes también pilares de Pueblo Tires and Service, y aquí a mi derecha está el mandamás, el jefazo, mi compañero Benjamín Valdés, y pues pues tú sabes, estás más informado que yo sobre exactamente en dónde nos encontramos.
Well, that's right. Welcome to the show in the blink of an eye. And we're today at Regional Center for Public Safety Excellence here in Pharr, Texas. And we're happy to be here.
That is correct. Anybody interested in becoming a police officer or fireman, this is the right location to do it. You can get a certificate. You can also get an associate's degree here. And it's all here in the city of Pharr, Texas.
That's right. And, you know, this place is impressive. First time here, and we're going to learn a lot today about their programs here. And we just want you to know that Pueblo Tires now has 13 locations to serve the valley.
That is correct, and we also offer up to 24 months to pay, my friends. No credit needed. Yes, you heard right. 24 months to pay, no credit needed. All of our locations. Come on and visit us. Give us an opportunity.
Okay, well, and with that in mind, you don't have to wait for your income tax, okay? Just come by today. Apply, buy, and be happy. Okay. We're going to take a pause, and we'll be right back in the blink of an eye.
Who's what's the meaning of 24? Partner, 24 is a number of cosmic order and harmony. That's right. At Pueblo, now you can have up to 24 months to pay and no credit needed. That's what I'm talking about. Take that to the bank. You betcha. Shampoozy.com. Que bailen. Dance.
Shampoozy.com. Think tires, think Pueblo.
Gentiles televidentes, bienvenidos de nuevo a su programa In the Blink of an Eye. Estamos a través de 5.2 Somos el Valle, como lo hacemos cada sábado a las 6:30 de la tarde. Tendremos mucha información muy interesante para ustedes sobre llantas, sobre automóviles, en fin, todo lo que se refiere a automóviles y llantas. Aquí lo tenemos, rines, cambio de aceites, qué sé yo. Pero también tenemos información muy importante, muy interesante sobre la comunidad. Y para eso tenemos aquí a mis compañeros, a Mike Gamboa y también a Benjamín Valdés, que se encuentran ahí con nuestro entrevistado de esta tarde, el señor Víctor Fonseca, instructor de entrenamiento para bomberos aquí en esta institución. Adelante, compañeros.
Okay, friends, we're back here in the blink of an eye with yours truly, Benjamin Valdez.
And Mike Gamboa.
And remember, nobody loves you more than Pueblo Tires. We're here today, Mike. We're happy to be here today at this impressive location here. My first time here.
Yes.
And we're here with a couple of gentlemen from, this is a Regional Center for Public Safety Excellence. And we're here with Mr. Victor Fonseca and Mr. Robert Vela. And Mr. Fonseca and Mr. Vela, thank you for having us and allowing us to be here today. We are with Pueblo Tires and Service, but as you all know, if you've been following us, we do this as a public service to the community, bringing you this TV show to inform the community of all the things that are happening in the valley, whether it's a place like this, you know, we do a lot of the STCC, also trainings, automotive, diesel, and so forth. And we're going to be learning a lot as we move on through this new year. And but today we're here, Mike, and we're happy to be here. And just for the little time that we've been here, I find this very impressive.
Yes, it is, and like what we said, we come to the location and speak with them about ways that they can help, or I guess our youngsters out there, to become either police officer or a firefighter. So it's very important for us to be here, and and we're happy that this is located here in the city of Pharr. So happy to be here.
That's right. Well, we'll start with Mr. Fonseca here, since you're closest to me.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll go Mr. Vela. But Mr. Fonseca, tell us, what is your position here with this organization?
I'm a Fire Academy instructor here with South Texas College Fire Academy. which also entails the fire science program, which is the associates for the fire science.
Okay, and Mr. Vela?
The same thing, except I am the police academy instructor, and not only do they instruct on the police academy side, trying to get individuals to become certified as police officers, but I also teach on the associate side because we do offer a degree in law enforcement.
You know, we got some questions to ask you, and there's so much to learn. I don't know if we can cover it all in a 30-minute show, but one of the questions that I have right off the bat, is it difficult to find people that are interested, young people, men and women, in following a path such as a fire department or police department? Anyone can answer that?
The problem is not finding people interested, it's finding people that are committed to see it through. In the fire science or the fire academy, we get a lot of people coming in, but once they realize what it entails, the hard work, either book work and or the physical, we tend to have some leave mid-academy.
Well, we're no strangers to that. In our business, we're a full automotive shop, and we find some young people, they come to us, but somewhere along the road, you find that they're not willing to continue for whatever reason. Sometimes life happens, and we try to provide as much training as we can. I'm sure that's what you all do here. And but hopefully, and I know you guys are committed, that's why you're here. Mr. Fonseca, what got you started in this type of career?
Well, actually, my uncle was in the fire service in Mission. He was a firefighter, went up to fire marshal. Out of high school, I was more of a technical geek. I worked for Motorola repairing radios, and we did radio repair for the police and fire in the valley. And we actually did the radios for the Mission Fire Department, which is where I resided. And just hearing the stories, and then one of the captains at the time invited me to check it out. I went to the station on a Monday night, sat in with the volunteers. I went out on one emergency call with them, and I was hooked. So
You were hooked.
yes, and that was in the early 90s. And went to the training, got certified, got hired with Mission, was there for a number of years. Subsequently went to the Hidalgo County and the Fire Marshal's office, did that for a number of years as well, and then subsequently ended up here with South Texas College. I've been here since Academy number 1, which was spring of 2011, and we're at Academy number 22 as of right now.
Well, and we're happy to know that there's men like you that are committed to help, other people, young men and women, find a path in this type of career. And Mr. Vela, we pose the same question to you.
Well, I actually started off graduating from high school with interest in business.
Business.
So I started off with a business degree, but as I went through college, I put myself, through school, and I had to work also. So I ended up working for HEB. And while I was at HEB, I actually started interacting with the police officers from that community. And, from what they were saying and what I saw them do, it kind of made me more and more interested in the law enforcement field. So much so that I actually moved back to the Valley, and I ended up getting my degree in criminal justice from UT Pan American, which is now UT RGV. Right. And that got me going. Graduated from college, got my degree, went into the Sheriff's Department Academy, got my certification. Then I started off as a school district police officer a couple of years. Then I got the ability to go into a municipal police officer job, city police officer, and I just advanced through the ranks to eventually becoming the second in command of my department. And I did that for several years, and you learn a lot, believe it or not. And eventually this opportunity came in. You reach a certain level where you want to try something different, and I always wanted to mold people from the beginning to make them into the officers, as opposed to what I did before where they were already made by somebody and I just supervised them, kind of deal. So the opportunity presented itself here at South Texas College. It was a new program. I've always saw South Texas College start from where it was just TSTC to STCC, and then at the point where I was being offered the job here, you got a growing college here. So I came over, and I started hearing about this new center, which you talk about today, and there is a master plan for this facility. What you see now is not what you're going to see in 20 or 30 years. People in the law enforcement field will tell you that what the college has planned for this facility and this area in FAR is going to be something equivalent to or even exceed facilities like what Texas A&M has at TEACS. And that's what keeps me going. The other part of it, because it's always another part to it, is I enjoy interacting with people. When I was a city officer, or now when I interact with students, because you meet people from a variety of cultures, a variety of cities, and I've always liked to help people. And, it's just become a way of life, I guess. And I try to instill that in the students we have now, that go out there and serve your community.
Well, so much to learn, Mike, and it gives us a good feeling that there are men like Mr. Fonseca and Mr. Vela, again, that are committed to help the young people find a career, whether it's law enforcement or fire department. And thank you, gentlemen, again, for having us. And, he spoke about culture, Mike.
Yes.
And that's very important in any organization. I think, again, Pueblo, we've been around for 47 years. And we want to have a family-oriented culture, teamwork. And we have a saying, and maybe you agree with this, that training is not something we did, it's something we do. Because even I think after they graduate here, they continue learning, right? They come back it's a continuous education in either field, is that right?
Yes, sir.
correct.
So, again, Mike, we're happy to be here today.
Yes, extremely
And
happy.
we hope that what you learned today, again, gives you a better feeling that our communities are safer because of men like Mr. Fonseca and Mr. Vela and the young men and women that they train for our communities out here. Because let's face it, we do live in a dangerous world and things happen, accidents or violence. And they're here to protect and serve the community. So we thank you, gentlemen, again, for having us. And on behalf of Pueblo Tires and Service, we're just proud to present this program, Mike.
That is very correct. I do have a quick question for you guys. I know that, is there like an age limit of, when somebody can come in and get a degree, or for say, no, you're too old to do this? Is there such like an age gap there?
Well, at least on the police side of it, you really can't come into a police academy until you're 21 years of age. But we always encourage people that are in high school, that are looking for something, hey, start off with our associate's degree, because the associate degree, you only have to have a high school diploma, or even a GED or something to start in the college. So young students will come in and get discouraged because, I can't come to the academy until 21. What can I do? Well, let's go into our associate's program. Let's start learning a little bit about the law enforcement. And by the time you know it, when you graduate with your associate's degree, it's already time. You've already reached the age limit where you can start applying to get into our academy.
I got a question too.
Go ahead.
You talked about age. Is there a height requirement?
There is no height requirement. And in law enforcement, the next question would be, is there an age limit? There is no age limit to get into this academy or law enforcement. The age limits are usually set by the department itself.
So I remember years ago when I was, that to be a police officer, you had to be a certain height. Many moons ago. I don't know if that was ever true or not, or it
No,
was just a myth or
They just didn't want you.
They didn't want me. Okay. Hey, I was a Boy Scout though. Well, again, thank you for having us today in the blink of an eye. We hope you're enjoying your weekend. We're going to take a pause now and we'll be right back, so don't go away.
A ver, Shampoozy, dime qué quiere decir 24. Amigo, el número 24 es un número de armonía cósmica. Así es, y ahora dobletea esa armonía cósmica. Y en Pueblo ahora tienes hasta 24 meses para pagar y no se necesita crédito. Llevo eso al banco, de eso estoy hablando. Shampoozy.com, ¡que bailen!
Shampoozy.com.
And we're back here in the blink of an eye with yours truly, Benjamin Valdez.
Mike Gamboa.
And we're here at the Regional Center for Public Safety Excellence with Mr. Robert Vela, Police Academy instructor.
Yes.
Mr. Vela, tell us where we're at. This looks like something out of Star Trek.
Well, we are standing in the middle of a virtual simulator. It's like I mentioned earlier, this is probably the only one south of San Antonio, other than maybe Border Patrol, that has one. This is what allows us to bring in our police cadets to train on different types of scenarios, use of force scenarios, and other things, where we don't have to go out into the actual field and have to find role players and use equipment. And it gives us the ability to watch them and how they react, and then, try to focus them on different topics.
You mentioned role play. At Pueblo Tires, we try to implement role play when it comes to sales and stuff. And every time we do role play, it seems like everybody freezes up, among the peers. Does that happen too here? Or
Oh yes, it happens all the time.
role play could be nerve-wracking. But Mr. Vela, this is very impressive, and you know, we have a saying in Spanish, and you know, Pueblo Tires has been serving the community since 1972, and the saying in Spanish says, "El que no sirve, no sirve." And we've been serving the community for going on 47 years, and what you are doing here, Mr. Vela, and your fellow associates here, you know, whether it's fire, you know, training, police academy, and so forth. This is for the well-being of the community.
Yes, sir.
And it gives us a good feeling. Now, personally, I live nearby here, so I didn't know you guys were my neighbors. So now I can sleep even, you know,
Better.
you know, knowing that there's this kind of a facility in the neighborhood, and we understand you have a lot more growth coming down in the near future.
Yes, this is actually a very new facility. And what you see now, you won't see in 20 or maybe in 30 years, because this facility is going to grow. And every, you know, you may see it the way it is now, 10 years from now, we may add a little more. For example, we do have an indoor firing range that's in the planning stages that should be up and running within the next couple of years. You'll see fire department training fields, driving tracks. I mean, everything that somebody that would need that's interested in some type of public safety profession from getting their training here. You won't have to go now to San Antonio, Bryan, College Station, all those places, because we'll have those type of facilities here for those that are interested.
Wow. Well, you know, that makes us proud, because I'm from far, you're from far, so now they don't have to go far. They can do it here, right? And you know, some of the simulations that go on here, we were talking about this when we were off the air, real life type of scenarios, car chases and so forth. That's what happens here?
Yes, sir. This is, in most departments, you'll see a conventional simulator where you'll probably only see this back screen. This simulator actually gives people that come and use it about a 300-degree view. So it focuses people to, instead of just focusing to the front, actually have to start looking around them. And that's the beauty of the simulator. It's more of a real-world situation as opposed to just watching a flat panel screen in the back.
Let me ask you something. Do you all train your officers to watch out for folks out there that are texting and driving?
Yes, in fact, you know, in the academy, we try to stress that we are not only out there to serve by enforcing the law, but we're also educators. We have to go out there and educate the public about different things we see out there that hopefully prevents them from getting into things like accidents or getting burglarized or any type of criminal activity.
And you know, one of the things that we stress at Pueblo is we have a very strict policy about texting and driving, because we have drivers as well. Mike runs our distribution center, and that's quite enforced, ain't it, Mike?
Yes, it is. It's very important always to have their eyes on the road, and you know, texting and driving has become a big issue here as well. But another question that I have, aside from your cadets, who else uses this facility?
Oh, well, I focus on cadets because it's a wide district, but this facility is available for any law enforcement agencies. And in fact, we've had the sheriff's office here, DPS. I know that we've made it available for other agencies in the area because this is a regional facility. So all it takes is for them to make contact with the administrator here at this facility and ask to use it and find out what the procedure is, and they'll explain it to them, and they have that option.
Question, Mr. Vela, whenever they're enrolled, whether it's police or, let's say the police academy, and what is the time span? I mean, how many months does it take to graduate?
Well, our academy here is about 5.5 months, roughly 21 weeks, from the point where they enter and they graduate.
5 weeks?
About 5.5 weeks.
5.5 weeks. And, but as we mentioned before,
5.5 months, I'm sorry.
5.5 months.
Months.
Okay. Now, once they graduate, are they placed at or do they have to, you know, apply for a job?
Well, some of the cadets that we actually have are already hired by a department. So when they graduate from here, they take the state certification test. That department usually starts training them to put them on the road. Now, we do have people that come in here that want to get hired by a department, that want to get the license to be able to apply, because some departments won't hire you unless you're already licensed. Now, we do have a lot of people that come here and with that option, and we end up placing a lot of them, or they get hired in a department after graduation from here.
Okay. Well, again, we're happy to be here, folks, and hopefully this type of information, if you have somebody in your family, a young person, a female or male. And speaking of that, what is the ratio of male and female students here?
Well, I don't know the ratio off the top of the bat, but for example, in our current class, there's about 20 students, and we have 2 females. Usually in any class, and I've been to other academies to present, usually find that's maybe 4 to 5 females on average. And we've had that ratio here the same as any other academy.
Now, when they're enrolled in this academy, do you find that a lot of the students are local, or are they students that have come from other states or that have moved to the valley? Or?
Well, if we do have somebody from out of state, it's usually because they moved here for some other job opportunity and it didn't work out for them, so they're trying law enforcement. We are here in FAR, and it's a great city, and they've helped us a lot here, and they're big supporters of the academy and this facility for STC. But we also get people from the surrounding cities to go as far as Rio Grande City. So we've had cadets that travel from Rio Grande City back and forth every day. So it's not just the Hidalgo County area, but we have people that come out from surrounding counties like Starr and Cameron as well.
Mr. Vela, I'm old school, okay? I used to watch those old TV shows, cop shows. And you had the Rookies and the Mod Squad and, the Poncherellos, Chips and all that. A lot of the stuff that they show in the movies, is that actually real? I mean, like, if you have a rookie cop, is he plays with a veteran and, they got to learn the ropes, that kind of thing out there in the real world?
Well, not to the point where they put it on TV, because for TV, they're trying to get you to watch the program.
Right.
A lot of it, yeah, it does happen, but the majority of stuff you see on TV, like in the cop shows and stuff, it's really more to attract people to watch the show.
Okay. Well, I was just curious because they're very entertaining, and but again, this is a really, I don't know about you, Mike, but I'm really impressed.
Yep.
With what's going on here and what's going to happen in the future. It's amazing. They showed us a video of the future plans of the growth that's going to happen here. And one of the things that you all do when you have a simulator that we can talk about where they actually sit and, it simulates the driving scenarios as well, right?
Yes, sir.
And I spoke to an airplane pilot once on one of the trips we did, and he was telling me about how they have to do that, I think, once a year. They have to go back and recertify, and it's just on and on and on and on. It's not just a one-time thing. Is that something similar maybe that happens here?
Well, we do have the driving simulator that you mentioned that we use, and again, it's available to law enforcement agencies in the area. That's not only to help train the new guys come in, the cadets that come in to watch for things while they're driving to calls with their lights and sirens on, or even just normal driving, but it helps the veteran officer come back and start to re-hone their skills, because sometimes we forget that, I can't run through that red light at 100 miles per hour. I have to yield the right of way before going through the intersection. So sometimes you need to come back and start remembering stuff that you forget because you've been in the profession so long.
How long have you been doing this?
Here at STCC, I've been teaching about 6 years, 6.5 years. In law enforcement, I've probably got total with here, the law enforcement training here, a little more than 20 years.
Wow. Well, folks, again, I hope you realize that, our communities can only get safer with folks like Mr. Vela and what they're doing here. Mike, again, we're proud to be here. We thank you. And please visit us at Pueblo Towers today if you haven't done it. 13 locations to serve you. But right now we're going to take another little pause and we'll be right back in the blink of an eye.
A ver, Shampoozy, dime qué quiere decir 24. Amigo, el número 24 es un número de armonía cósmica. Así es, y ahora dobletea esa armonía cósmica. Y en Pueblo ahora tienes hasta 24 meses para pagar y no se necesita crédito. Llevo eso al banco, de eso estoy hablando. Shampoozy.com, ¡que bailen!
Shampoozy.com.
Shampoozy, so what's the meaning of 24? Partner, 24 is a number of cosmic order and harmony. That's right. At Pueblo, now you can have up to 24 months to pay and no credit needed. That's what I'm talking about. Take that to the bank. You betcha. Shampoozy.com. Que bailen. Dance.
Shampoozy.com. Think tires, think Pueblo.
Okay, we're closing out our segment today here with Mr. Robert Vela. Mr. Vela, what else can you tell us
Well, we encourage everybody to come by and tour our facility, whether you're the general public or maybe a law enforcement officer. If you're interested in either the Fire Academy or Police Academy, we are taking applications. Come by our facility here at 3901 South Cage in FAR. We're more than we're more than available to answer any question you may have about any entrance requirements or what the requirements are. Even if you just want to come in and sit and talk to us about becoming a police officer or even a firefighter, we'll even go that far and talk to you about it and see if it's something you may be interested in. But again, come by this new facility, at least have a look at it and see what we're doing here with South Texas College and with the help of FAR and the PSJ School District, which I forgot before, 3901 South Cage, FAR.
Okay, well, Mike, it's been a pleasure. Folks, again, thank you, Mr. Vela.
Thank you,
Appreciate
sir.
it. Thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you, Mike.
And folks that are serving the community, and thank you. We'll be right back.
All right, Shampoosies, what's better than 12? Why, partner, that's easy. It's 24. At Pueblo, you can now get up to 24 months to pay and no credit needed. That's right, up to 24 months to pay. No credit needed. That's what I'm talking about. Take that to the bank. Shampoozy.com. You betcha. Que bailen, dance.
Shampoozy.com. Think tires, think Pueblo.
Gentiles amigos, así llegamos al final de uno más de los programas en la ocasión de In the Blink of an Eye por cortesía de Pueblo Tires and Service. Benjamín.
Amigos, thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Don't forget to visit us at Pueblo Tires. You can find us on shampoozy.com or call 855-412-8473.
Up to 24 months to pay, no credit needed. Also come visit us for those package opportunities on tires.
Thank you, Mr. Robert Vela and Mr. Victor Fonseca for the tour and for the information you gave us. And amigos, again, if you're waiting for the income tax or you're having problems with your car, visit us today. And just remember this, keep this in mind, that nobody loves you more than Pueblo Tires and Service and STC College. Bam!
All right, Shampoosies, what's better than 12? Why, partner, that's easy. It's 24. At Pueblo, you can now get up to 24 months to pay and no credit needed. That's right, up to 24 months to pay. No credit needed. That's what I'm talking about. Take that to the bank. Shampoozy.com. You betcha. Que bailen, dance.